fast around here on Haven. Start things off, Mibr running a pretty standard composition, honestly, all things considered.
Very standard for the previous patch. I think most people are going to be playing Jett at this point, but this is, I mean, we just saw this all the time, and Mibr have actually been playing this pretty much exact same comp in the off-season, although FRZ was playing Chamber at the time.
Yeah.
But what a cautious beginning to this pistol round.
Really slow, right?
Expecting something really aggressive off the rip. And Talon are the team to do that sometimes.
Well, Stun to try and push off the angle. Fox needs to be careful of this one. A jump peek! Oversteps himself. Just a tad, a quick little flash to push them back, but surely he doesn't want to fight this. Needs to get some backup. There's the util dump through, a haunt and a flash. Start chipping away at the side and gaining a bit of space now. So remember, Mibr are going to be granted that at least, and the plant. Get themselves into this post plan, but Talon want to be trying to play this incredibly fast, just running straight into the smokes and taking these duels and fights on equal footing. The pistols at play, just trying to play one after the other, and it's Cruz claiming 4.
And the crowd went silent.
Oh yeah.
Just as soon as Cruz mops up 4 in the midst of that, everybody here in the arena thought Mibr was an interesting dynamic for this match. Cruz does such a great job here. He barrels through the smoke to begin taking down Heat, the star player from Mibr, and then he's just tucked right behind his players until he swings around. Yeah. And that kill that he just found in short there, the one that you just watched, imperative, because otherwise he's stuck in a 2v1. Great timing. And I think it's important to note too that Cruz has changed his role. Last time you saw this guy on the big stage, he'll have been playing Breach, you know, that kind of role, and he didn't look that great. His fragging wasn't pretty powerful, but it wasn't a role where he was allowed that freedoms. And in the few off-season games that I've watched that Cruz and Talon have played, I think this smokes role seems to suit him a bit more.
Well, Heat's opened things up quite nicely for their eco round. Just a Marshall purchase, but already making good usage of it.
And that has pulled everyone away from C.
Yeah. So reaction from Talon.
Yeah, Murray's the Breach, the IGL of this team, of Mibr, has got a lot on his shoulders. It's been a long time since we've seen him on the stage. But he does like to run this kind of push and pull setup with his attack sides. They can be pretty slow.
Deep push into mid for information. There's no punish there onto Cruz. A little bit awkward in terms of the fight that he was taking. Luckily there is coverage. Jitboys was watching for it.
And this is suddenly so dangerous, Brent.
Yeah, this is a 3v2 now on a round that really there was such a huge gulf in terms of the weapon advantage. Talon should not have let this drop, but now they're left scrambling, wondering where are these players, where could they have lurked into? Stun, Boombots dealt with in just a moment. It's a good double swing from the Talon players, and another bit of just raw fire. Just coming straight down the one angle. Dodging a flash. Morris is set up for it. 3 in a round, a Red Bull clutch, and guess what? Not much in terms of money invested.
Performance from the IGL. What a clutch.
Yeah.
These Mibr players are deadly. Deadly.
And I think
other teams of players that have been scrimming against them have been talking them up too. Yeah. So Mako saying that these guys are some of the best aimers that are in the tournament. I don't think anyone's got Mibr as the top team in the tournament, but in terms of actual talent on the roster, ability to hit shots, the Brazilian scene has always had that.
That's a freebie that's going to be handed to them.
And the freebie gets Murray's up to his Breach ultimate too, but I don't think they're going to need it this round. This should be easy peasy cleanup.
Yeah, there's not much in the way of any sort of obstacles.
If anything, Murray should be taking a backseat and allowing somebody like Heat to build up his ult too. Heat would die to a breath of fresh air right now, only on 5 HP.
Got noise for but a moment here. Still, the Talon players are surrounding them, but see what kind of plays they could operate off of. It's a nice little pop flash on top of it, and the back of the side is going to be claimed. Heat's still watching it. Another flash utilized, but another easy round there for Mibr. We talk about the individual talent.
You also get the thought process of VCT. Look how fast this is.
That's absolutely rapid and got it. Well, he's not wasting any time. Showstopper pulled out. Morris ended up just bumping into the wall. A little bit awkward. JSA has to try and watch the smoke. He knew Cruz was there, but an absolute pincer maneuver off the back of that one, there was no time wasted.
And it just never came. Talon weren't aggressive on the pistol. They weren't aggressive on, you know, the follow-up or anything like that. And this is the one round where Heat's gone for some early A lobby control and it was just matched instantly. And this is the power of Talon's comp, right? Whereas Mibr are playing a more slow control. Another couple of crazy shots. It's definitely possible.
Go back to a bit more even footing. The Haunt has dropped down. It does mark Cruz, actually.
Yeah, that's a bit wild, isn't it?
And he's still just egoing this angle. Even against the weapons, that is quite dangerous of him, but nice lurk there from Frozen, just making sure that he can take some space where available.
And I think that really opens things up. It's not like Fox's weapon is particularly retrievable, but when you consider that Murray still has this ultimate, they can group and go for some kind of play. And I think this is way dangerous from Jimboy here. A triple push down mid. Grabs them a tiny bit of info, but not that much. They've left the whole of A open now, so they need to go and re-explore. And this is the timing where Murray's can take his team over towards C. There is only Sushi Boys remaining there.
Yeah, this is almost like Talon are reading like this is going to be an A hit, like they're already on the site, setting up to try and play fast retake, but Sushi Boys should be spotting them now. And there's that ult, the Rolling Thunder. Rips its way across, Paranoia on top of it, Frozen still just being an absolute nuisance. The backstab from the middle of the site, the middle section of the map.
And that's going to stop these retakers from being comfortable.
Swapping around the spike to see if they can really min-max this type of thing, but Talon, we're more than ready once more. Garnet's pulling out the grenade, but it matters not. Sushi Boys swings from the back. That is exactly what his team needed.
One bullet, though, will kill him, and he's worried about where Frozen is. There's only 10 seconds.
10 seconds. A kill on Sushi Boys. It's what it needs to be happening now in the 1v1 against the Killjoy players. And a corner just was not cleared.
What a round, what a play from Sul Center.
Yeah. They were more than ready. As soon as they heard the spike tap, the decision was already made from them, and that is just, wow. Listen, a bit of Lady Luck playing his part, I think, but...
Absolutely. But look at how Garnet tried to get back into that site. Do you see him? Yeah. The nade to get the kill onto RGL. Blast back in, and then he pulled out his nade again.
Put out his nade again.
A bit of nerves, a bit of jitters. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
They still win the round.
And you got to set the context. That was still a half-buy round from Mibr that got super dangerous. But they'll be kicking themselves they didn't win it.
A bit of fast A lobby pressure. It's being put out now by Mibr. They can take this A short control. Backing away. There's a boombot that not going to be clearing too much. Fades away now. Aftershock as well, just in case there is somebody close into that one and done position. We'll see which direction they want to take this one in, because Mibr have been playing relatively slow at the beginning of these rounds so far.
I think they've got a great opportunity to use Frozen's ultimate. And we saw Frozen playing that lurky style over up towards B, and now the fact that he's regrouped with the rest of the team makes me think that he's going to try and go down short and play the lockdown, although he seems to be on flank watch. What's the game plan here? Just send Heat in with his ultimate?
It seems likely. There's going to be a stun, Nightfall as well. Going to be accompanying it, just clear out the side, but it does tag onto Cruz. Silly just holds his ground, claims the one kill, eventually dealt with, but another repeat from Foxes. That is a little bit uncalled for, in my opinion. The comp that they're running, pretty strong at retakes, but clearly no idea of really trying to play for that one, and Heat with the showstopper was not expecting that to still be in his hands.
Sushi Boy's using his ultimate for the retake in the 2v4.
Yeah, this is very, very brave. And a swarm to push them back. Another lockdown's going to be used in response of that one. Sushi Boys really needs to get a move on here. And it's going to be detained. Well, not quite. He's still available, ready with the weapon in his hands. And 5 in a round means that's going to be a nice little ace.
Both sides.
It's one of my favorite aspects of watching this Mibr team, I think, especially on Haven. They're not afraid to react very quickly off of any sort of information. Heat in particular is the impetus for a lot of that, you know, double satchel plays to try and combo up with Murray's right next to him, the IGL of this team.
But I think you can also see that they've got respect for how Talon's comp is going to play and the aggression that they could throw them in the early round. Look at how slow this is and how tempered. A lot of the times you would see, you know, Brazilian teams just throwing their lives away, throwing rounds away by not taking these things into account.
Yeah.
So I appreciate this. The unfortunate part being they're headed into the 4-player stack.
Will they clear this corner? The answer is yes. The contact, I thought there would be some utility being used, but no, just backing away.
Yeah, it definitely felt like that should have been a trap. But Sushi Boys responds on the other side of the map, and he maybe has to do a lot more.
Already quite good. What another angle as well. The crosshair placement, fantastic from Sushi Boys. And this smoke just gives him a bit of coverage. Make sure he can weave in and out of it. Might need to be renewed sometime soon, though. It does fade away. And the players of MIBR have been grouping, but they matched pound for pound of at least the players who are holding on to the side. Paranoia rips across, a reset of the aim once more. Sushi Boy's just doing the absolute most on his half by round. And rifles be damned, Talon just returning with another thrifty, just back and forth. Feels like we're
also the way that they got into the site, really badly spaced out. Yeah, it turns out that one was just nasty, the first kill onto Heat, but where's the second player? The trade so late from RGL there.
A little bit out of sync, and you can see from the reaction of these Talon players. Not letting
you don't want to be there.
No. Much rather have the weapons. Satchel forward to try and skip past all this. On top of that, the Omen TP. So just really disrespecting some of that A lobby control. When you're not running the fade as well, it does take a bit of bite out of it. You know, sometimes you have to be wary of that Seasonade combo, but it's Sky on the other side. So
double push down C long in response to a lot of the utility being used on A. But I don't think that Cruz is going to try to break the alarm bot and over push. This is just if they return. And honestly, that is something that Morris has been doing quite a bit, feeling out A and returning to C, although this time it looks like it could be an A commit.
Talon looked like they were trying to set up
wow,
some sort of trap
the
play.
alarm bot, FRZ, going out of range, means that Cruz has got past the alarm bot, past the turret.
And they are not aware of this one. There was a timing. Chase's Age is still facing a completely different direction. The Prowler's being used, not even staring. Patience, patience, patience being played! And 2 kills will be his reward.
Fantastic. And the Seeker's used at the same time to be able to find out where Frozen is, catch the rest of these guys.
But an instant response, Heat. It's not wasting any time. Into the back of the site still, the choke point being played. Sushi Boys watching it and falling from the sky. Talon answer once more.
Wow. What a, to the very front portion of B, where he looks to try and find lurk kills, timings, but Talon going for a double past its radius. Yeah. I mean, that was a second where he was free, and on either side, he would have been caught.
Milliseconds of difference. You're seeing MIBR once more push down to the weaker buy. Arguably, of course, with the Stingers, but they have been nerfed in this patch. And it is a fast play to try and push Heat into this close and personal position into Garage while this fight towards A lobby does take place.
They love doing this. I've seen Morris do this in the off-season too. He normally creates some pressure on the opposite side of the map to allow Heat to get his lurk off. So this pressure into B can be a fake.
Oh, ready for this.
Or now Heat can just have a great post-plant position.
A little bit mistimed with that one as the spike was planted towards B. Showstopper into the back. Garnets doesn't claim anything off of that one. A bit of a Rosa moment, but this is already looking a little bit odd because Murray's holding close. No one to clear that angle. And still doubled up with the teammates. Rifles, will they make the difference? Cruz has got the most to do once more. Spraying them down, a swing, what is that?
But Heat is still behind. This player, this nuisance that was stuck behind them from the beginning.
And he's just buying time, one satchel. He has the stinger, can push them off the spike if they tap it. That's a bit of a shallow angle to be taken. Cruz has managed to work his way in, has already got half on the defuse, needs to be covered, needs to be watched. 1 kill, getting off it in just a moment, but enough time being bought. What a round by Cruz to salvage it.
Only just though, that's another one where it was, I mean, I love the idea from Talon actually in this round. Fast garage pressure puts Heat in a good position where he can play as a lurker or a post-plant flank. The one criticism I'd have is that satchel that he used at the end could have been perfect for getting some tiny things, but at the end of the day, those tiny moments add up, don't they?
Certainly do. A little bit of difference here in terms of the approach by Talon. This time looking like they really want an opportunity to try and fight alongside A-Long. They're holding a couple of key pieces of utility. It's the alarm bot in the smoke, I think, is what they're waiting for, right?
Yeah, this is going to be a trap play, I think. They've got fault line, they have flash set up. Actually, Foxy might just swing on it because he's the player they're looking to punish. So, no, they are. They're going for flash fault line off the alarm bot. So they're looking for a big trap play. They just go off a timing instead of off the alarm bot there. Decided they'd waited too long in the round once it got to about 1:05 on the clock. That's fair enough, but the Flash didn't see anything, so that might have given them terribly bad information.
I think MIBR were definitely disciplined enough. Like you said, didn't see anything. The alarm bot is now going to be making them aware of the fact that they have taken this area. And Holding Thunder just waiting in their hands. Now it's going to be let loose upon the side, but Talon have been just playing away from this one, making sure that they're not going to get caught out of position. That's brave by Fox. Spraying there with the Vandal. Traces giving away his location.
So Sushi Boys has the lockdown available for this. They're worried about a flank through B because FRZ's done that a couple of times before. Does MIBR have a plan to break this? Yes, they do. It's got way more health than it used to, but let's see it.
Lineup. This thing's definitely been orchestrated. Aftershock as well. Node over the top. Is it going to be enough damage? It is indeed. Well prepared. And now a showstopper on top of it just to see if they can just squeeze anything else out of this one. Nate going forwards. Heat still just holding within this smoke. They know he's there, but a spam, and they do find it in the end. Garnett's making sure that he contains this approach just from the backside. Just trying to shut it down, but time is running awfully, awfully low. RGL Meister with the most to do. Having to defuse a spray down. No time.
Did they have time anyway? I'm not even sure. Talon may have got off the defuse there. MIBR come away with the round in a Red Bull clutch. You can see that these teams have anti-lockdown setups, but it takes way more utility than it used to.
Huge
the Aftershock not doing enough at this point, you know. Even if you use a couple of nanoswarms through the wall, 4-8 deficit.
Certainly could be. Flash play at the beginning just to buy a bit of space towards mid. It's a Prowler as well that goes into garage, so familiar setup, honestly, but look at that spam, the angle. Frozen taking so much damage, and we're just refighting into mid. Murray's deciding to take a fight for whatever reason, but he does go down, and the spike was dropped with him.
Once more, they pushed Heat up in garage. Are they going to apply some pressure elsewhere on the map? Murray's is dead, and that takes a lot of the initiator utility away, but they still have a Horn to work with. Looks like this is going to be a C-split, and I think Talon are going to sniff it out. They're taking a lot of space in A lobby.
Incredibly pushed up right now, but not opting to use too much.
Yeah,
utility.
the smoke. The smoke, though, right there from Cruz, blocking these players off. They know it's going to be some form of C-split.
Incredibly obvious, and now the ultimate as well just really does confirm it. Sushi Boys under threat. Util really being dumped hard into the back of the side, at least a plat. You can see the nade on top of this one. MIBR lining up. They were fully blind. It's up to Jip Boys to see what he can do. But a lovely anti-flash position matters not. Fox coming in from the flank. Both the players just making sure they got each other's backs. MIBR just leaving too many gaps.
Stumbling through this first half. And this round broken because of a decision by Talon to go for a mid-round push out through A lobby. They get all the info that it's going to be a C hit, and they also get a really fast flank. I mean, these players haven't even got into sight. They haven't got the plant down. They're not ready for Fox and Cruz.
This is a difficult one. The money not good, and that's a double satchel into the flash. RGL Meister couldn't see where he's TPing. Not sure if that was intentional. Heat, though, still with the backstab, and it is scrappy. It is chaos. But ultimately, it's all down to Heat in a 1v3, just to try and make this half a bit more respectable. Spike is nowhere to be seen. The map just flipped on its head. If you can isolate a fight, it could be quite nice, but that's just a bit of running and gunning and coverage again there. Holding his ground, an 8-4 half for Talon. Amazing beginning for them.
Definitely a map where MIBR feel comfortable, and Talon have just rocked them. And it was death by 1,000 cuts. That is incredibly impressive. This pistol round is going to mean so much to MIBR. They're a really aggressive team on the defense. Setting up a trap play here off the alarm bot in short. They've got turret contact to watch for any lurkers up through B.
This is purely just to try and play with a paranoia, but RGL Meister, you can see him, he's just holding the utility and not expecting this one, giving up the B site almost entirely. There might be a faster play to try and approach, but Spike's going to go down without too many problems. Now it's up to MIBR. What can they get value-wise? Cruz with the look. And timing. It is absolutely everything. Are they going to pass each other really like ships in the night?
Absurd. Instead of going for the garage reflank or fighting for a connector, they slip Cruz into A.
Heat spotted one player, the nade, just rebounding a little bit shallow there. Jitboy's going for the swing and just claimed the one kill before eventually going down to a bit of the util, but the corner not cleared, and Garnet's claims another one for his team. One after another. Down to Frozen. Got the frenzy, has to try and reset, but the re-swing is there once more. The coordination on point. Talon taking the lead once more, even further.
RGL just kind of walked out through B, and you don't expect Heat to be losing his duels there, even in the pistol round. Against Jitboy, leaning on that experience that they've had, and the talent that they have on the roster. If they're getting outclassed pound for pound by the Talon guys, that is extremely worrisome for the series.
And at some point, you've got to have that conversation about the double-edged sword, I think, of the expectation that a crowd cheering for you really has. Sometimes that pressure doesn't exactly form diamonds.
There is so much history between these two teams as well, actually. FRZ, he beat the core of Talon at the very first LAN we ever had in Valorant. And Heat and Murray's both got knocked out of champions in 2021 by this team.
Yeah.
For RGL and for JZZ, their histories and rivalries are yet to be written. Those guys are rookies to the big stage in similar way to Garnet and Jitboy, although they've had more experience domestically.
This is an A take. Slow and steady as it goes. Stun, paranoia, nade into the back of the site. This is A holding close and a beautiful nade to support.
Another thrifty?
Yeah, well, a bit of a one and done angle. Don't talk too soon here because the smoke's still weaving in and out, and Heat just absolutely running rings around them currently. Another nade, just sidestepped. Both of them there, and they're going to be evacuating the A side entirely, and this is so intelligent. Cruz watching this angle. He expects both of them to just be running all the way onto B, and it's going to be that spike planted.
Wow, what a monster Cruz is playing like right now. This swap to smokes, this step up, this reclassification of him as a player, he just looks so different. He's making every smart play.
Frozen just searching for the right angle, damage being done. Claims the one kill, but the time has really been bled down, and he's on 22 health.
He could die to the turret.
The turret really could just finish the job. Essentially playing a 2v1, I think, honestly, and he doesn't know where Sushi Boys is. Nothing being given. The turret is just magnificent, can't be cleared in time. That's the only resource he really needed in that moment. Unwinnable for him.
And takes the smart play there of dying to the spike. You don't want to give Sushi Boys another ult-or, but even they're normally the kind of team that comes out with some set strats. We've already seen some trap plays on the defense. But I think you also have to be cautious because MIBR love pushing defensively. The tempo definitely taken here by Talon.
Yeah, just trying to play incredibly fast straight into the B site. Spike wasn't dropped with this play, and
who is this guy?
Action is happening. I mean, Cruz has just been unlocked. This guy is just a demon.
He looks so much better than the last time we've seen him at LAN.
Something about this role shift, something about the fact that he is one of the veteran presences on this team that some of the newer players are looking up to. With all that ground gained, can he do a bit more? Heat's to find that one kill. It's still that 2v4, but this was a weaker buy by Talon. Even if they make this expensive, they're going to be happy, I think, in the grand scheme of things. And MIBR, the discipline is there. Maybe that phase, crosshair placement, not quite good enough. And the flash out to the side. Fox will not survive.
And MIBR finally get around where they keep 4 rifles. I don't know if they've done that the entire game. I mean, this is going to be so important for their economy. Obviously, Talon barely had anything coming into this round, but every thrifty has been dangerous at this point on Haven. And it looked like this one could have been.
Yeah, could have got out of hands very, very fast.
But now comes the serious uphill climb. If MIBR have a decent economy and start
unwinnable scenarios, but maybe MIBR are also capable of the same. Flash into the garage. Turret's going to be he's taking contact. And now, Trailblazer to lead them in, lets them break that turret. Less tools to really think about. Cruz, what sort of play are you going for? That's a paranoia, and he slipped his way into the B site while this hit comes through. Talon just not clearing the log section, and Frozen got absolutely huge. 3 in a round, anchoring it for his team, but eventually cleaned up.
And now things get scary here. if you pardon the pun, because Cruz on the smokes for Talon is in such a great position again.
What?
Oh, the Prowler saw him, but he reacted too slowly.
He knows where he is, but look at that coordination, no hesitancy.
And it's
from Talon.
Cruz.
It's instantaneous.
Oh my God, Cruz is thinking there's much less likely a player holding there. And despite all of the heroics from FRZ on site, the backstab play just gets everything.
He's just different right now. Something about the calling, the way he's playing individually, how intelligently he's playing. On top of that, just individually couldn't be anywhere. Never find so many openings for them, but now Talon, again, that pace just increased with the tempo. And it's really just being pushed into these forward positions, even a stun into the close corner. From Heaven, though, it's Bulldog in play. It's not the best weapon for the job, but it does enough to at least soften up the players who might have been swinging. Now a showstopper as well, Unleashed, but it's caused a bit of an evacuation. Cruz does not have his ult online. They can't reclaim the spike as easily.
But these are the moments where MIBR has been throwing rounds away. They're 5v3, they need to stabilize, and they still don't know that Cruz is here. JZZ is watching. They're scared now. They're paranoid.
Yeah.
And with good reason.
It's time to be a bit more aware of it when these lurks are fashioned out of nowhere. Because there's been the gaps in a lot of their protocols that have just been losing them these rounds. Not much the remaining players of Talon can do against that one. The crossfire a little bit too strong. Prime Gaming flawless, so MIBR be able to carry those rifles.
The economy is just not. I mean, it has been a factor because it was such a big problem for MIBR in the first half. But with the amount of Thrifty and half-bite wins that we've had, the economy is not. Teams have playmakers and gaps in their game where the Sheriffs are weaving shots through. Same defensive setup here for MIBR.
Flash to push back Talon. Do have utility at least. Okay. A random spam down into the bottom of mid, so Murrays does claim that one. Picks it up out of seemingly into the bottom of mid, so Murrays does claim that one. Picks it up out of seemingly nowhere, and they do deal with Cruz once more, who was going for a cheeky little lurk. But moments like this, you look at the way that these rounds are beginning for a team like MIBR. He don't want to be giving away rifle. Plays being made, but the guy's clearly feeling confident. 2 kills for him, but ultimately falling.
Those are the kind of plays you go for when you're trying to build up your own confidence.
Fox now just waiting for an opportunity. Wrong timing to take that one with the peak, but what I wanted to say going into that round is that there's been so much
risks like that when Talon are so close to winning. And it's more A lobby control. Oh, and I've seen this one before. Heat pushing up into A lobby, taking the space off the back of the horn. It's absurd, but he loves it.
I mean, it's just absurd, isn't it? Guy's not even playing a role where he can really just try and counteract this card. It's just hitting the nastiest snap I've ever seen.
The ball has been fumbled in Garage. Absolute fumbling. It looked like a great setup and the 2 players were vulnerable, but that could be a death blow.
That's a brutal one to lose, isn't it? Any sort of player advantage. Sushi boys watching for it with JZZ just falling. Back of the site, Murrays bides his time. The patience is good there to claim that 1 kill. But the trouble is he's got this operate. I mean, the guy's just not set up for any sort of retake. Murrays is on an island right now playing by himself with the one-way smoke setup. He still wants to play this one. Does he realize that there's an opportunity presented for him? Aftershock, there you go, 1 kill found. Doesn't know where the remaining players are. One flanking him in no time, no angles given. And he just saving the operator while all that was going on.
So many map points here. So many chances for Talon to be able to win this. What a performance from Garner. Busting his way through Garage.
I can't believe this, man. What have we ever seen? Sees Nate out of double doors. And it should catch some value with the stun as well. 2 players. Satchel up into the egg. Oh, it survives. There's no way. But eventually he will claim his prize. Not going to get that denied from him too quickly. Still a flash into the side. Aftershock is just not fast enough to push them back, including this lockdown. And Talon on map point, taking all the space in the world towards B. The lockdown cannot be destroyed. Pushing them out of position. This flank is being watched now by Cruz and the rest of them. The showstopper. It's got to get value. Rolling Thunder. It is just chaos all over the bloody place. Where does this go? Lands up top. Skipping a hop, he does survive. Now a Prowler on top of it, and a re-swing from Sushi Boys. An absolutely ridiculous play occurring all over the place. One after the other. The lockdown now online, spray down, but coverage is there. Mibr, they rescued a round from the grips of defeat.
Miracles in Brazil. That was an absurd round. And Fuzzy just jumping and hopping, skipping around.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not a solid game plan on the retake, is it? It's magic.
It's all over the place.
But that's only one of the chances that they've denied Talon. There's Spectre. So, unusual decision in my opinion. Normally you don't want to take disadvantageous fights, but you also don't expect Heat to be missing those kind of shots.
This guy is normally such a consistent operator player. Now the showstopper online, that's a direct hit! Garnet's just ripping a pathway right into the site, and it's vacuum right up. Talon takes